All right, I wanted to do a video about the negative stuff. I don't necessarily like talking about negative stuff on cruises, but unfortunately, y'all people click on negative stuff more than you do the positive stuff. So here I am. Going to do 5 things here in order I'm going to mention like I had on my other video. Number one, the number one negative things, and these are in, I don't know about the others, might not be in order, but this one is in order. Was the cabin stewardess, cabin steward, or dirty room, or however you want to call it. In short, me, I'm a single guy in my 40s. I'm certainly not a neat freak. I'm not a slob or nothing like that, but certainly not a neat freak. I don't clean my own house and that kind of stuff. But my room, I went to, they basically just barely even cleaned my room when I was, the day I got on board. I went to take a shower that night, and they were gigantic black hairs in the shower. If you would have even looked at the shower for 10 seconds, you could have cleaned the shower. You could have wiped, turned the shower on and knocked the hairs down, and I probably would have never noticed, and my opinion would have been changed, because I'm not, running a black light or anything like that. But it was just, clearly he did not even remotely clean the shower or even look at it between sailings, which is really disgusting, because, change the sheets and clean the bathroom. I can get by without the carpet being vacuumed and that kind of stuff, but, you gotta clean the bathroom, and that clearly was not done. I was in the bathroom after they opened the doors at 1:30 or whenever it was, and he probably didn't realize I was in there, and I think he literally took 5 seconds to vacuum the room. So yeah, and that is a problem I think going on. Is the biggest, and I got an entire video where I go a little more in depth, but in general, the room was not cleaned, and that is a problem. And I will no longer tip cabin stewardess to start with, because I don't believe in tipping people that do a bad job, and more often than not, the cabin stewardess do a bad job. Now, you can blame the cruise line if you want to, and maybe they get some of the blame, but you got to take 20 seconds to look at the shower and see if there's any hairs there. Number 2. This is actually the second worst thing, is the Cucina for Lunch, the Italian restaurant. I always loved that, but they've changed the menus, and it is simply not, it is a major step back. They don't have the cheese sticks on the menu. They don't have the create-your-own pasta. There's just 3 or 4 options, and it's just taking away the cheese sticks in the create-your-own pasta. Just kills that. They also only have it like twice. They never, so it's not like they don't have it on sea days, and they never have it the first. They don't have it on port days, and they never have it on the first CD for some reason. So it was only there twice, so it wasn't like a major deal. But I would have went back the second time. Normally I do, but because of that, they've really cut it back. And I told the maitre d' there, and obviously he didn't, it wasn't his call, so I, was able to say that. But yeah, I mean, it was, now that does seem to change some based off the ship, so let me know if you've been on a Cucina for Lunch on a ship and had the create-your-own pasta. But when I was here back, but it had changed from even September. Number 3 is cold. Now, some of this is the time of the year, so it's not necessarily nobody's fault. But while the temperature was good, 80 degrees weather, much better than the 20-degree weather, as I said. But the downside of that was the water was cold. Some people were getting in the water. And now, this was at Honduras as well as Celebration Key. I just personally did not get in the water. It was a little too cold for me. I'm not that much of a man, apparently. My cousin got into it, said eventually you got used to it, but I couldn't do it. Water a little too cold for me. Number 4 is the main dining room team I had. Now, some of this could be spoiled by the people I had last time, which if you're watching my video of what went right, ties into that. But they were amazing, the best I've ever had, friendly, on top of things, all that good stuff. But these people weren't. Because of that, we didn't eat in the dining room as much. I think twice I didn't go. Now, I have late seating, 7:45, and I give them a pass on the 2 formal nights because I know those are going to be busy. But the second formal night, eventually I just gave up. And I think, but the service generally outside the formal night was good, so that wasn't my complaint. It was just there wasn't the personal touch that you usually get for the assigned dining. Like, there were nights where we were literally the only table they had. So on those nights that it was literally just us 4 people, the only ones they had to look after, that's when the nights that they should have been a little more personable and friendly. So because of that, I'm going to put that as the number 4. And the number 5, again, it is I wanted a round number. I certainly like the inside room. I believe in saving the money for that. But, the room, and I kind of put this on here more for my parents because they wasn't used to the smaller room. Now, they have the inside room and they have the premium inside room. We did the cheaper inside room because it was going to be about $200 more just to get a couch, and I was going to have to go from deck 9 to like deck 4 or something like that. I didn't want to do that. So, but the room is small. If you're not used to that, that's kind of why I put that on here. So it probably is worth spending the extra money for a little extra space if you can. But if you're not, be prepared. It is a smaller room, the bathroom and that kind of stuff. Now, some of that can be like, if you got one bed, it's feels smaller than what we did with 2 beds where it's separated. So that can be a difference as well. So like and subscribe.